Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not, and welcome to a sort of short uh, series here in a short-lived short series. As this is going to be chronicling the Seinfeld curse. I'm going to do a whole video talking about it, but I wanted to do videos on each one before I do a whole Scotty TV on it, and you know, because like the video is going to be, it's going to talk about the shows, but it's going to be based on whether or not Seinfeld was actually cursed, or if it was the writers. And I'm watching each show, talking about what it is. And this show, the first one I'm talking about, is the Michael Richards Show, debuting in 2000, September of 2000, starring Michael Richards, William Devane, Tim Meadows, Bill Cobb. Some good talent. Uh, And I think the biggest problem, the show is Michael Richards plays a private detective named Vic Nodozo, who wears disguises to get his, uh, to do his jobs. And the show seems uneven. And looking at the backstory of the show, I can see why it's uneven. Like, part of the episodes will be straightforward police, not police, private detective story in a sitcom form, where he's like, okay, I got this case, I need to interview these people. And then the other half is Michael Richards doing Kramer-esque slapstick, goofy stuff that kind of sometimes, like, there's some I was laughing during the course of the show, but like sometimes it works and sometimes, like, the over the topness of the Kramer-esque stuff just sort of doesn't mesh with what the character of Vic was supposed to do. And since I learned the backstory of what was going on behind the scenes, I think I understand why it feels uneven. So when the show was conceived, there were three Seinfeld writers behind this show, right? They took Michael Richards, and Michael Richards always wanted to play a private investigator. So this was like a dream job for him, right? That's you watch Seinfeld, you see him put on disguises and stuff like that. Like the one episode with the sniffer or whatever it was, where he goes undercover in that bar to talk to that guy, uh, the dad from Transformers, where he's wearing that sweater, and the good episode. And you look at that episode and you think that was Genesis for this. He was channeling that in this, but a little more over the top. And so what it was Michael Richards and the writers wanted a more straightforward sitcom show about a private detective that was, like, not fully competent, more competent than Kramer was. He wanted to be a different character. He wanted to play it, straight. But the network, being NBC, wanted to feed off of that residual Seinfeld fame, and be like, no, he has to be just like Kramer, which resulted in the episodes being uneven. When it was being straight laced and talking about detective stuff, like all the side characters, uh, like William Devane, Bill Cobb. I almost said Tracy Morgan because I'm looking at the Cop Out DVD right here. Not Tracy Morgan. Tim Meadows. Yeah, Tim Meadows. And I don't know the actress who plays Stacy. Apparently she's on the SWAT TV show now. Good for her. But she's in there. All the side characters are really good. Even some of the guest actors they get. You had the guy who played the building caretaker on Friends in the first episode. Sean Gunn is one of the episodes. You don't know, he's James Gunn's brother. He's been in the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's Kraglin in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He was a couple roles in The Suicide Squad. There's other guest stars popping up. This was 2000, so it was in that vein. You have some guest stars, but the show in the last 8 episodes, But he goes straight forward. He has that kind of talking to the people. Oh, Ed Begley Jr. That's another one. Talking to the people and connecting with with the characters, and then like where he's playing this detective character who cares about getting the job done and that stuff, with some comedy mixed in, but then like slapstick happens and it's like what I think it was the first episode. I don't want to copy this from the like he'll be on a case and he'll do something and he'll be doing it, and then all of a sudden something slapsticky will happen. It'll be like goofy. Like there's one where he's in like this Chinese place and he goes to he's undercover or whatever, and he picks thing flops it around. Like normal people pick it up like this, like pick it up. Oh, okay, him. Yeah, that was almost an accident. It was just like that sort of thing where it's just like flopping around. He exaggerates it to a point where sometimes the slapstick works, but you know that they keep telling him more, and everyone keeps saying, "Yeah, be more like Kramer, more like Kramer," and I think that's where the problem comes. They just let Michael Richards be this character instead of trying to make it the Kramer show, as opposed to the Michael Richards show that was supposed to be. And it's always weird. You're like, you this is kind of a nitpick, but like you have shows, the Michael Richards show or Whoopi, and they're playing characters that aren't that name. Vic Nodozo, Mavis Ray. It's like, why call it the show if the character's not the? You know what I mean? It's like, say the Bruce Willis show, and his name is Bob Peterson. And yes, I did say that because a cop out again. It's right here on a stack of Kevin Smith movies. So, why does he have Kevin Smith movies? Don't get ahead of me. I'll announce that later. I already done most of his anyway. But anyway, yeah, it's uneven. And I think that's where the failure came. Is that, this show should have tried to stand on its own legs first before they made the changes, which, from what I hear, the show Watching Ellie with Julia Louis-Dreyfus tried that and still failed. But they shouldn't have said you have to be Kramer. Basically is what the network said. No, you have to be Kramer. You have to act like Kramer, dress like him, behave like him. They should have tried something different. Because even back, I remember seeing stuff on TV. My mom was big on the must-see TV stuff, She watched Friends, Will and Grace, all that other stuff. And then I remember seeing commercials for this. And of course, when you're a kid, you don't understand names. So they said the Michael Richards show. I'm like, no, that's Kramer from Seinfeld, because I knew Seinfeld. That's Kramer, not Michael Richards. I didn't understand the actor's name. Even though I know he was in Problem Child, I just knew he was Kramer. That's all I knew. I didn't shout, that's the bow tie killer, But yeah. So having watched all 8 episodes, only last 8 episodes, was canceled after 8 episodes. From September to December, 8 episodes, that's it. Having watched all 8 episodes, it was entertaining. I did like them. I didn't hate them. So far, there's nothing too terrible about the shows going forward. Although, I don't know how that would change, but I enjoyed it. I thought that the side characters, like Michael, there was one thing, we say it's uneven, but the side characters being more straightforward did seem to balance it out a little bit, and maybe the writers did that on purpose. Like, okay, if they're gonna make him go all out in goofy, crazy schlockland, let's try to even out with the other characters, which I think does work. And this doesn't have to do with the show itself, but the comedy, there is some dated comedy that would not be able to pull off. There's an episode with a racist dog. There's a dog. It's the dog of William Devane's ex-wife in the show, and he's fine when he's around Vic or Stacy or Devane, But then Bill Cobb walks in and he sort of barks at him. And then when Tim Meadows walks in, he growls at him. And they say that he's racist. And that would be enough. The dog is racist. Oh, let's try to change it. Let's try to make him unracist. Then something happens to the dog where he has an accident. They have to shave the dog's head and put stitches in it. So the racist dog is now a skinhead, and the stitches form a certain symbol that represents a certain group of people in World War II that were not the best people, if you know what I mean. And they show the symbol, and it's like, you could not get away with that. Putting that symbol in TV nowadays, I can't even say the name of the symbol, or my video might get, you won't see me anymore. I'm not even going to say it. Or the group, because I don't want nothing. I mean, I know I've said it in movie reviews, the name, but I just, buzzwords, you know what I mean? I don't even want to say that. You could not get away with that on TV nowadays. That's like, no. That made me go, oh, okay, different kind of comedy back then. This was 2000. This wasn't like 80s or anything. This was 2000. I watched older shows. The comedy wasn't that. They're trying to be funny. And I don't know. There's other plots in there. Like he's a private investigator, so he's trying to, see if this person's cheating on them, or if, There's one where he's helping out on a TV show, but he uses Devane's character's divorce as the story for it. So then Devane shows up, and he's like, okay. This was the last episode, by the way. He's like, no, you gotta have her be a bitch, But they're trying to make a TV show because she's a recurring character. You don't want people to hate her, you know what I mean? Although you can't have a hate recurring character, but you just understand. He ends up making out with the security guard lady, which was fine. But they have this story plot in the last episode, but it wasn't supposed to be that episode, between Stacy and Tim Meadows' character, where they've been co-workers and they have to go undercover as an engaged couple. This results in an unexpected romance between them. But nothing comes of this. Not just because it was canceled, but it's like they don't really wrap it up. Like, they spend the episode where they're talking about where he had feelings for her and she doesn't, and they're in the van and he kisses her, but she's like, what are you doing? He's like, they were gonna make us. We're in a van, they can't see us, okay? Then they start arguing and she's like, yeah, I understand. I was undercover, and you thought it was something when I did this, and she kisses him. And he's like, yeah. And just like that time that I thought they were gonna find us out, so I did this, and they kissed, and they're like, yeah. And then they kiss again, and then Vic opens the door, and he's like, that's it, do it undercover. And that's the last we see him in that episode. I don't know if they were gonna continue that, but I would have liked to have seen where that would have went. Would have a relationship? Would they just kind of like in the next episode be like, we tried, didn't work, or would they just not address it like a lot of shows do? They have stuff in episodes that didn't, but I don't know. But I did enjoy this show. If I was to grade it, I don't grade TV shows, it'd be like a C. It's not the best, but it's, like a lot of short-lived shows. There are some that like this and Whoopi. I would love to see continuations of to see where it would go. And I would like to see what the original show would have been like if the network didn't decide you have to be Kramer. That's it. I would like to see how it would have went. But as is, it's fine. And I know this might end up being the best of the shows. Although Watching I did get 2 seasons. But I don't know. And Listen Up got 22, a full season. Unlike the others. So we'll see. But I'll leave it to you now. What are your... Have you seen the Michael Richards show? All 8 episodes are on YouTube if you want to watch them. Just like with Whoopi. I keep pushing Whoopi. I love Whoopi. I think they're still on... I haven't watched them in a while. But, sorry. I love Whoopi. I wish it would have... I wish they released it on DVD. They probably won't. But they probably lost all that stuff. But that would be cool. Even if it was one of those like someone like one of those independent companies that do the burn on demand thing, I would even accept that. I don't know. I usually don't try not to get those because I don't know if that's legal or not. But in that case, that's the only way to get it. Or I'm fine watching my YouTube. I guess. But you know, but yeah. What are your thoughts on the Michael Richards show? In the comments below, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one as we continue our journey through the Seinfeld curse. And I gotta say, if I'm trying to determine if it was a curse, if I'm basing it on this, I would say it would have to do with the network more than there being an actual curse. You know what I mean? I think maybe the network, the clash between the network and the writers and Richard himself kind of caused this. Like I said, they made it more straightforward and less Kramer-esque. Probably would have worked better, but who knows? Yeah. Up next, Bob Patterson, starring Jason Alexander. So we'll see. But till then, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.